Morning, everyone. Welcome everyone to the meeting of the Barrie Police Services Board for January 22nd, 2026. I'd like to call the meeting to order and begin with our land acknowledgement. In keeping with Indigenous protocol and building respectful relationships between Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples in Canada, it is customary to acknowledge the traditional territories and ancestral lands of Indigenous peoples. We would like to acknowledge this sacred land on which the Barrie Simcoe Emergency Service Campus operates. It has been the site for human activity for over 15,000 years. This land is the ancestral land of the Wendat and the Anishinaabe Nation. The treaty that was signed for this particular parcel of land is collectively referred to as the Williams Treaty. We are dedicated to honoring Indigenous history and culture. We also recognize the enduring presence of Indigenous peoples on this land and are committed to moving forward in the spirit of reconciliation and respect. Make which, thank you. We are joined virtually by Mayor Nuttall and Deputy Mayor Thompson. Our agenda was distributed in advance for this morning. A motion to approve that agenda. Mr. Khan, any amendments, comments, or questions with respect to the agenda? Seeing none, those in favor? Do any members of the board would like to declare a conflict of interest with respect to today's agenda items? Seeing none, thank you. I will release the chair to our administrator, Ms. Young, to walk us through the election of chair, vice chair, and committees for 2026. Ms. Young, I don't think we need to physically change seats. Thank you.
Good morning. So we're going to start our yearly election process here now. First off, we're going to elect the chair for 2026, and I'm looking for any nominations.
I'll nominate Mr. Ferguson.
Thank you. And our current chair, Ferguson, just confirming you're willing to stand for 2026.
I am. Thank you.
And all in favor? Perfect. And next we'll go to the vice chair, looking for nominations.
I'll nominate Robert Thompson. Yeah.
And Deputy Mayor Thompson, are you willing to stand?
I am.
All in favor? So they are both carried. We will continue with our current chair and vice chair. Now we have our budget subcommittee that is made up of the chair and one other member. So it'll be Chair Ferguson, and looking for a nomination for a second member.
Nominate Strong.
Are you willing to stand again? Okay. Thank you. And we have our policy and bylaws subcommittee that is comprised of the vice chair and another member. Looking for nominations.
I will elect Arif Khan.
And you're willing to stand?
I am. Thank you.
Thank you. And that will close all the nominations for 2026.
Thank you, Michelle. Our minutes for our meeting of December the 18th, 2025 were distributed. A motion to approve those minutes, Mr. Khan. Any questions, comments, amendments with respect to those minutes? Seeing none, those in favor? Thank you. There are 5 items in our consent agenda distributed to the board in advance. The 2025 firearms report, sexual violence review, our annual review, our November 2025 variance, our human resource report, and public complaints. Would any member of the board want any of those items pulled or any questions? Mr. On, please.
Just one question on the variance report, and like it's standard and I think it's well prepared. I don't have any concerns with it, but I'm just wondering if in future or maybe like an end of the year kind of summary, if we can outline the amount of overtime that was allocated and for what reasons, like just broadly in categories, just to give a better understanding, especially to the public, of where our resources are going and how some things we can't plan for.
Chief, please.
Through you, Chair, absolutely. No, makes perfect sense. And we certainly would like the community to understand that while we do manage as tightly as possible over time, we do have events transpire in our city which are out of our control that we are required to respond to. Absolutely.
Just following up on that, because the question was asked, the Barrie Police Service has a policy regarding overtime. Can you just speak to that?
With respect to overtime, in general, each time it is submitted, it's context dependent. And so up to the immediate supervisor, the staff sergeant, then goes to the inspector and above. But with respect to whether it's required or not, and it's not a default response. And so if it is required, it is sought. But if it's unnecessary, it's as with respect to shift billing versus overtime, if someone's going to be staying late after a shift, they are required to seek permission from the supervisor.
Any additional questions? Being done, I guess I should ask the motion first. Table my motion. John, any other questions, comments? Those in favor? Thank you. I'm looking for a motion to change at my request. Last month, we agreed to our 2026 meeting dates, September the 17th, 2026. A motion to change that to September the 22nd, which is 5 days later in fall. I don't know what if everybody Mayor Nuttall, motion. So is there a seconder? Any members or chief from your team that would cause a problem changing that date from the 17th to the 22nd? Those in favor? Thank you. Thank you for accommodating my schedule. Chief Johnson, over to you for the your monthly update, please, sir.
Chair, thank you for the opportunity once again to share with our community and the board some of the events, meetings, going on in our city. I'd like to share. With some events that we attended. Representatives from the South Simcoe Police Service, including K9 Officer William, joined us December 19th to recognize Police Dog Nash's completion of training. The Barrie Police K9 team provided legislated training for Nash, and we were happy to recognize Constable William for his efforts in showing that neighboring police and the strong relationship we do have with South Simcoe Police. On December 20th, I was honored to attend the Yalda celebration, which is a Persian festival to mark the winter solstice, the longest night of the year. Our vibrant Persian community hosted a wonderful evening. Throughout December, our peer support teams hosted breakfasts for our members to get to know our peer support members and connect with each other. This effort manifests the board and the service's commitment to member wellness. Throughout December, members of the City Guardian team stopped by the public library as the program continues into the winter months. They're always a welcome sight. On New Year's Day, Deputy Chief Burke attended the New Year's levy at the Barrie Police Legion Branch 147 on behalf of the Barrie Police Service. On January 15th, Constable Jackie Park and Constable Kelvin He, Special Constable Drury, and volunteers of our Citizens on Patrol and Auxiliary Program attended the City of Barrie's open house for new residents in the boundary adjusted lands. Our members spoke to new residents about the many crime prevention and community safety programs and services that the Barrie Police Service offers. Here's a community favorite. Registration is now open for the 2026 Polar Plunge for Special Olympics. Barrie Police will be hosting our plunge on Sunday, February 22nd at Centennial Beach. Registration is $40 and all proceeds support our local Special Olympians. Visit polarplunge.ca to register or donate. I know the deputy is really looking forward to this one. As the new year gets underway, things are starting to get busier. In mid-December, we met with representatives of the Busby Center Board. We also took part in a media interview on our Battenberg Cruisers with News Talk 1010. In early January, Canadian Mental Health Association, Paramedic Services in Simcoe County, and the Barrie Police Service met for an update meeting regarding our CARE team, the Community Alternate Response and Engagement Team. And I also had the honor of joining Board Member Khan as a member on his Rogers TV show, City on the Move. Significant occurrences. On Friday, December 19th, just before 2:30 p.m., Barrie Police received multiple reports of a robbery occurring at a jewelry store in the Georgian Mall in Barrie. Callers reported that 5 suspects were smashing display cases at a jewelry store near the food court and had sprayed an unknown substance in the air. Barrie Police would like to thank the Nottawasaga OPP officers who were critical in locating and arresting the 4 fleeing suspects, as well as the off-duty officers at the mall who assisted in detaining the first suspect. Within 2 hours of receiving the first call for a jewelry store robbery in progress, police had all 5 suspects in custody. Police were called to a residence on Bayview Drive near Little Avenue for a well-being check around 3 p.m. on December 31st. When police made entry to the unit, a 10-year-old child was discovered deceased. 47-year-old woman, the child's mother, has since been charged with first-degree murder. Just after midnight on January 2nd, officers on general patrol in the area of Bayfield and Grove Street made a traffic stop for suspected impaired driving when they witnessed a white pickup truck making an abrupt U-turn on a hill. On conducting a vehicle search, officers found the occupants of the vehicle to be in possession of a loaded .40 caliber handgun and various knives, in addition to a significant quantity of Canadian currency. A 26-year-old male and a 45-year-old female, both from Toronto, were arrested and faced numerous charges. This once again highlights the preventative value of an investment in proactive policing and the great work by our members. Finally, some upcoming events. Coming in February, Barrie Police Service will be hosting an incident management system level 200 course for our members. This course, which is designed and overseen by the province, provides first responders with the framework to coordinate a structured incident response of any scale and communicate, collaborate effectively. This training is now required under the CSPA legislation. February 28th, members of the Barrie Police Service will be taking part in the coldest night of the year walk in support of Youth Haven. And with that, Chair, hand it back to you.
Thank you, Chief, for your update. Questions from members to the Chief and or team? Mayor Nuttall.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Chair. Appreciate it. Chief, with relation to the jewelry heist, was this a group of teens from inside Barrie, or were they from outside of Barrie?
Through you, Chair, those individuals did not reside in Barrie.
And is the because I know we have to be careful on privacy here in terms of Youth Criminal Justice Act. Tell me if I'm wrong. But is it the GTA that they're coming from?
Through you, Chair, yes. And as you can tell by the hesitation in my responses, I am, yes, cautious of the implications there. But that's a broad enough statement, yes, from the GTA area.
Okay. So a lot of the, if I'm looking back over the last couple of years, a lot of the drug-related arrests, and we've had now a couple of these, I don't know what to call them other than a smash and grab at jewelry stores, are being targeted from like outside of our community. Folks are coming in. Is that a fair statement?
Through you, Chair, yes. No, I believe that is a fair statement. Again, anecdotally, we see the proximity of that in terms of current timing, but in general, when we have these more organized approaches, they are originating outside of Barrie, from outside of Barrie.
And I just wanted to highlight that for two reasons. The first is that, you know, no amount of, you know, work by Barrie Police on education or working with at-risk youth in Barrie is going to stop, you know, gangs that are targeting young people from from focusing on Barrie when we just don't have an eye on any of it. And the second is there a need for, and you may already be doing this, so please don't hesitate to say already on that, you know, we're ahead of you. Is there any ability to work with, you know, York, Peel, Toronto on who the gangs are that are recruiting these young people and moving these drugs to Barrie? Or is that something that's already underway? It seems to be getting more and more prevalent over the last 2 or 3 years.
Through you, Chair, I'll answer the second question first, Your Worship. So yes, we are on an ongoing basis. No time to be stopped. We work with our local policing partners and recognizing, given the organized level, as those who commit these acts, no borders. The police make great efforts to police with all their partners and share information as best as possible. And we are very cognizant of that. To your first point, and I do want to point out, we pride ourselves on that preventative policing where we can, and we have the capacity to do it. And we're very appreciative of that. And the intent is making the community safer. With respect to the reactive style, which reactive response from a police service, which is going to never leave policing because things happen in a society. This just goes, it does go to speak to the partnership between the city and the police with respect to accessing cameras and the use of technology. We're not always going to be able to stop crime before it happens, but the follow-up to that is, what are we going to do after it does, and how effective are we in our response? So our intent is, and as part of our investigations, our ability to respond is due in part to that relationship and respond effectively to accessing technology to allow us to identify and locate those individuals who commit those acts.
Yeah, and if I can, Mr. Chair, just the final for me, if you can please say thank you to all of those that were involved in after the jewelry heist there. Like, what an amazing show of policing, and how effective and how efficient they must have been in order to be able to you know, identify vehicles, people, to then be able to have our neighboring forces step in when needed. That I think just, it was a great display of this is how effective Barrie Police is, and hopefully sends a message to these GTA gangs that you know, this is not an easy place for them to come and target as criminals.
Thank you, Mayor Nuttall, for those comments. I echo them. To extend our appreciation. Any other questions for the chief or deputy? Being none, I just have one comment. This young can confirm that, you know, we have a policy with respect to the polar plunge. Normally the vice chair make the plunge. There is a policy to that effect. So hopefully Deputy Mayor Thompson's schedule is clear. Mine is not. I wasn't advised enough in advance, so unfortunately I'll be on it. That's like that. I'm sure we'll check that policy and follow up with the deputy.
You need a mover and seconder for the deputy mayor plunge, or is this just informal at this point?
The policy is already in place to my knowledge.
Unfortunately, my schedule doesn't work. I might have the shape of a polar bear, but in the body type. But yeah, I'm unavailable. And Deputy, in the word, Chief said he would be more than willing to take my spot.
It is a great event. I've been to it a number of times. I have not gone in the water, but I think was there in service. So unfortunately, I won't be able to do that. That concludes our open meeting for today. Motion to go into camera in accordance with 44.1B, 1D. Mr. Khan, all those in favor? Thank you. We'll go in camera.